35-34 to have an upset. Middle down.
And they're going to fire as it's intercepted. Picked up. Derek Carr and the Raiders set for their next possession with some deep pass.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good into a floater. And defensively, this
1st and 10. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And that play went no. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They run it with Jacobs. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. To throw, it's Carr. And his crew. I made our predictions for Super Bowl 54. We're coming soon. The official Madden NFL 20 Super Bowl prediction. Something Madden folks do every year is predict how they think the big game is going to play out. And that prediction with the help by the... And a big loss here as he's taken down. Cleveland Farrell just creating a disaster. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Throwing. Prescott. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup, 81 yards, as they are now on the board here in the 1st half.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one... that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the 1st half. You do have the entire 2nd half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
Forbath to send it away now following the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. Now a hit and a loose football. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Prescott on 1st down. And almost intercepted. It would have been his 2nd pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Here's Prescott. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Tahir Whitehead. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Cooper was the intended target. A quick sidestep here, CD. The NFL doing something kind of neat for its 100th season, which wraps up with Super Bowl 54. They're inducting a 20-man class, a centennial class, into the Pro Football Hall of Fame this year. Now, a number of modern-day candidates won't be announced until the night before the Super Bowl, but 15 have already been announced, and it's a pretty good list so far. Guys like Harold Carmichael, Bobby Dillon, Alex Karras, Donnie Shell, Duke Slater, a number of others in there as well, CD.
Yeah, you're you're right about that. And what this does is they hope it helps ease the backlog of some of the great candidates that are out there. You know, a Max Speedy and Ed Sprinkle, people may have forgotten about, but they were tremendous during their time frame. And we did get to see, if you're watching television, coaches Bill Cowher and Jimmy Johnson receive their invitation to Canton from the president of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And we saw those announcements live. It was so much fun, wasn't it? And the emotion that came through. And let's not forget Executive George Young, who built the New York Giants back in the day with Bill Parcells and crew to win Super Bowls. And former Commissioner Paul Tagliabue, he presided over the big growth of the league. And contributor Steve Sable of NFL Films, who should have been in a long time ago. Without NFL Films, I don't think we have the number of fans watching the game today.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Max Crosby.
Offensive line, it appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back in pass rush. They've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Normally, I'd say this will lead to a punt attempt, but this offense already shown in the first half that they'll go for it on 4th down.
Oh, they should have already said, punt it, punt it. Head coach should have already made that decision.
So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. And look at this, another fake, but he will not make the 1st down marker. That'll be a turnover on downs.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams are educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Carr going to throw. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A good pickup there at 22. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as his guys continue to pour it on. So now Carr, he'll lead the Raiders up to go for 2. Working from the gun, it's Carr. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Come on now, let's go.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
It's a party now.
1st down, Prescott. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
They're throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Prescott to throw it. Completes it to Jason Witten. Give him 18 on that one, and it's a Dallas first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Prescott now just 5 of 16 throwing the ball, but he's got a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Prescott. And a little floater there is incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Prescott now, and that's Elliott, complete. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down.
And done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. So we've reached, and okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and 5. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Being chased out left. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. To throw is Prescott. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. He's picked off near his own 48, and they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
What now? 54 Mike. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Chidobe with a pick, and his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. They set themselves behind the chains, trying to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time.
And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Now, I know it's only a loss of a couple of yards, but when you get near the sidelines, just flip the ball out of bounds, incomplete, and save the yardage. Save the yards, not your stats.
Dak dropping this one off for Zeke. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 13 yards and a 1st down, Cowboys.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A 1st down carry by Elliott. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Prescott's throw going to be caught by Gallup. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Prescott from the gun on 3rd. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
On 4th, they do snap it to Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A gutsy decision there at this stage in the 2nd half in their own territory, and a decision that they might regret.
Can't wait for the postmortem. You know, this post-game press conference, because the questions are going to come fast and furious about this decision, no matter how the game turns out, right? What were you thinking there? Why? Did you have a certain play call? Were you confident in your defense? Oh, yeah. Why? It's going to keep coming up.
Yeah, no matter the scoreboard, just tough to justify. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. And, oh, my goodness, what a catch at the 6.
When we see guys like that make that type of a catch, not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers, too.
Yeah, tight end, one-handed catches. They're kind of... And he is in! Touchdown, Raiders! A 5-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back and you're cheering. Yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot.
No.
Okay.
So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Escaping the pressure right. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down.
Here we go, here we go.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And Elliott trying to work his way forward, but it looks like he did not make it. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Here's Prescott, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The product of Jersey City, Tahir Whitehead on the sack. Apparently they weren't interested in playing the field position game. They opt to keep their offense out there. A big mistake in hindsight. Yeah,
that one backfired. In hindsight's always 20/20, but let's call it what it was. We would have first guessed that one and said, don't do it here. Bad situation. I think they need to be closer to midfield before I would start to think it was a good idea.
Yeah.
And once you start taking risks like that, you're going to have to keep taking them throughout the game, especially when they don't work.
Yeah, at this stage of the second half, interesting. They go play action here on 1st down. They'll roll him out right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up 4th. Now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
Down. 180.
50. I don't even know why this team showed up.
On 1st down, they go with Jacobs again. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Hey, we're good, we're good. 185. What's up?
On second down now, it's Jacobs. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Carlson able to put this one through. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Eric Harris who picks it. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is that conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
They'll step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
Rolling to his right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
And this is caught by Witten, the tight end. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Back now in Arlington. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott there to make the grab. And the Cowboys are able to make things a bit more respectable. There was no going through the progression. Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. And he'll be out of bounds well short of the goal line, so the attempt at the fake extra point unsuccessful.
Okay, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare him to do that?
What was that? Maybe they saw something on film, but do you see something on film when it was to try something from the 15 on a PAT? I don't know.
The only thing they needed to see on film there was a snap, a hold, and someone kicking the ball through the post.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. Blitz coming, and And down he goes. The sack by Robert Quinn. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your...
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Carr now to throw. And Waller taking it in over the middle. Well, a heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. To throw, it's Carr. There's a short little toss to Carrier. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider 1st down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Antoine Woods busting through to get him for a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. To throw is Carr. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Able to find Waller. That's complete.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Carr now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Raider 1st down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Carr. Buying time to his left. He'll run it. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. On 2nd down, it's Smith, and he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Again, it's Smith, and he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back
Tiny.
there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
Carr going to throw. And it is incomplete. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Cowboys' defense is going to get them the football back. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talking about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? They'd be chanting, start the bus, because they think this one is over.
Kicking team.
So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Now Carr. He's going to air one out. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw again on 2nd down. Carr. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Carr going to go on 4th down. And this is incomplete. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
1st down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. Looking to throw. Prescott forced out to his left. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Eric Harris who picks it.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Now Carr. Eluding the pressure right. He'll try and run it. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line. 2nd and a yard. Carr going to throw here. He's going to go for a big play downfield. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. They tried the throw on 2nd down. Unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Now Carr. He's going.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
And Carr's going to keep it himself. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. Throwing, Prescott. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
Prescott to throw it. Steps away to his left. And it'll be intercepted. It's Eric Harris who picks it. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. the practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down,